Whether it's a gummy, an oil, a topical, a soft gel, or now even a sparkling drink, CBD comes in many forms. But how do you know which one's right for you? Or better yet, how do you even know how to spot the ones that aren't? Today on Just Say No, we're helping you decode the options, understand your needs, and learn how to choose with confidence from seed to self care. Now, the problem: even getting the information you need can be a challenge because of the FDA's inaction and a patchwork of inconsistent federal and state laws. Brands and even media are restricted from making clear, evidence based claims about the potential benefits of CBD. Now, I'm not talking about hype. We're talking about accurate, actionable information that's still hard to come by, made scarce by decades of prohibition and ongoing regulatory silence. And that's why today's conversation matters. We're not just talking about what might work, we're talking about what to look for, what to avoid, and how to advocate for your wellness. Despite the restrictions on information, hey, I'm opening up the conversation to go the extra mile and give you real insight where others can't or just plain won't. Within those limits, we're cutting through the fog and getting real about CBD.
By 2020, Bank of America and Merrill Lynch estimate that will grow to $35 billion. And many experts believe it could eventually reach $200 billion each and every year.
Hello, and welcome back to Just Say No, where we take the mystery out of the cannabis plant and empower you to make informed, thoughtful choices. I'm your host, Maria Calabrese, coming to you from the heart of California's cannabis country on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind, and wherever you get your podcast. Hey, if you tuned in to episode 21, you met Aspen Green founder Brandon Lewis, where we explored the origin story of a brand that appears to be raising the bar in the CBD industry. We dug deep into the roots of the brand, from their USDA certified organic hemp grown in Colorado to their dedication to full spectrum formulations. Now, what really sets Aspen Green apart for me isn't just their commitment to clean ingredients. It's how far they've gone to prove it. Their products are physician formulated by Dr. Adam Perlman, nationally recognized leader in integrative health. Every batch is tested by third-party lab, SC Labs. SC Labs is among one of the best. And the results are accessible, easily accessible through QR codes on their packaging, so you can see exactly what's in the bottle. They even partner with the Realm of Caring Foundation. This is a wonderful nonprofit dedicated to cannabinoid research and patient support. And Aspen Green's commitment, it didn't stop at what they put in it. It extends to what they leave out. I was impressed by that their products are free of toxins, pesticides, and artificial additives. Plus, I really like that they use eco-conscious packaging and they prioritize sustainable practices throughout their entire supply chain, which is really important when it comes to cannabis products. I found Aspen Green to be a rare wellness brand backed by science, and that doesn't just talk the talk. They walk it organically. And today, I want to continue our journey with a focus on something we hear a lot in the wellness world. What form of CBD is best for me? We'll explore tinctures, gummies, topicals, soft gels, and Aspen Green's new sparkling CBD drinks. I'll also be sharing a pre-recorded conversation with their customer care team who help guide customers through these questions every day. So if you're CBD curious or just looking to refine your wellness routine, this episode is your personalized roadmap to navigating the many options and finding what works best for you. But before we dive into our conversation with Aspen Green's team, I want to highlight something we can speak freely about. The federally legal herbs that Aspen Green combines with its products, like turmeric, known for its anti-inflammatory properties, lemon balm, and valerian root, long used to promote sleep and relaxation, and ashwagandha, an adaptogen, beloved for its stress balancing effects. All of these I take on the daily. These herbs bring centuries of traditional use to modern formulations, and they help support rest, relief, and mood. The irony? We can celebrate these plant allies openly while still being restricted in how we talk and what we can say about the benefits or even potential benefits of CBD, despite growing anecdotal and scientific support. And when these federally legal herbs, right? Cannabis is a culinary herb. We have hemp-derived CBD, which is federally legal per se, and then we've got marijuana. But when conventional herbs are thoughtfully paired in formulations, the herbs and the cannabinoids, they create a layered natural wellness experience that's both functional and just plain feels good. And that brings us to today's focus. How do you know which CBD product is right for you? Each form works differently in your body and can influence how quickly you feel effects and how long they last, right? Onset and duration. Maybe you want something fast-acting and discreet. Maybe you're looking for longer-lasting support or a CBD routine that fits your daily rhythm. And you've probably seen the term full spectrum on CBD labels. But what does it really mean? And how does it differ from broad spectrum? The key in choosing is understanding your goals, your lifestyle, your needs, and your body. That's why customer education is so important, despite all these restrictions on what can and cannot be said. And I've got to tell you, Aspen Green's support team is a true value add when it comes to helping people navigate choices like how different forms of CBD are used, how they're paired with other herbs like skullcap, lemon balm, and even black pepper, what makes USDA organic flower special, and how terpenes shape the effects experienced, and why they believe the flower Aspen Green uses helps define the Aspen Green experience. They're available to help break down the meaning of full spectrum and why it's foundational to Aspen Green's product philosophy, with one noteworthy exception when it comes to their pet line, something I'll circle back to after we hear from them. So stay tuned, because after this short break, you're going to hear directly from the Aspen Green customer care team on how a little guidance can go a long way in creating a positive first experience.
Did you know THC and CBD are just 2 of more than 100 cannabinoids?
At Green Bee Life, you can watch GBL TV with an evolving slate of original programming
And going up.
from a diverse group of on-air personalities,
I want my GBL TV.
where we cover everything from pets to wellness, compliance, social equity, culinary arts, sustainability, and much, much more. You can learn from articles on our journal. And you can shop on Know & Go for carefully curated, high-quality products for a conscious lifestyle. Watch, learn, shop.
Green Bee Life, changing the way the world sees green.
All right. So as promised, hey, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Just Say No on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, or wherever you get your podcast. I'm back with Stephanie and Rebecca. They're part of the Aspen Green customer care support team. And we're talking about from seed to self-care. And they're going to spotlight some of Aspen Green's products. But before we do that, Stephanie, Rebecca, who would like to take this question? I'd like to talk to you guys about different consumption methods and why someone might choose a gummy over a tincture over a topical.
So I would say depending on just like a person's composition and just their like how they metabolize food in general, some people have a better chance at, getting the experience they desire from, let's say, like a CBD oil versus a gummy, because gummy is completely contingent on your metabolism. And whereas a sublingual product is going to kind of, enter the bloodstream via the receptors in your mouth, and the GI tract plays a very little role in it. That's usually how we'll guide, customers into choosing a gummy versus an oil, or vice versa.
And you guys offer oil, gummies, and topicals, and then you have a pet line and you have a beverage coming out. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So, Rebecca, you are coming at this from a cultivation background, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the flower, the herb, the quality of the USDA organic full spectrum formulation that Aspen Green makes, and then how it translates into the different types. Whereas there's an oil, there's a gummy, there's a topical, and I know you have a beverage coming out. So tell us a little bit about the flower and then the different types of products that you have.
Yeah. So at Aspen Green, we work with farmers who are based in Colorado, and the farms themselves also have a USDA organic certification, which is amazing. We work with a couple of main strains of cannabis that they grow for us. And it's kind of broken up between two. We have our products like the relief products, the rest and calm products, all products that are supposed to be a little bit more like relaxing and calming to your system. For those, we utilize hemp plants that are a little bit more like indica leaning. They're all full spectrum, so we utilize all cannabinoids found in the hemp plant, but these tend to be more of like a relaxing composition to the plants. And then we also have our Bliss products, which is a super popular product that we offer. We have the Bliss oil and gummies, and those we use a different plants. Those have a higher concentration of like CBDV and THCV, which are cannabinoids that studies have found to be a little bit more like uplifting and energizing. So those are a great product for people who are wanting to, maybe more like daytime use, or just like, feel a little bit more energized and uplifted from taking CBD products. And as for the quality of the flower, like coming from a growing background on small and large scales, I can definitely verify just how insanely difficult it is to not only grow organic, but also to get USDA certified organic. Like, for example, to get certified organic by the USDA, your land itself, the soil, the land has to have be totally free of synthetic chemicals for at least 3 years. So that's kind of like the baseline. And then after that, you have to have an organic system in place for every aspect, like how you manage your soil, how you control the pests, how you feed the plants, which really limits you to just organic practices, which it seems like that wouldn't be that hard. But if you look at kind of what is offered out there, like most of it's going to be synthetic pesticides and fertilizers. So that really limits you and kind of pigeonholes you into a smaller options. So to grow organic actually takes a lot of effort and a lot of care. And then on top of that, you get annual inspections where an inspector comes out, checks your fields, your records, everything. So the fact that we can say that, from seed to the final product, everything is USDA organic, I think is really a beautiful thing to offer, as well as like the transparency as well. So yeah, USDA organic is no like small feat. And I think it's really cool that we offer that.
It's very, very rare, and it's super impressive. I read on your website that you have a flower super haze. Are you still using super haze?
Yeah, we still utilize that strain.
And I know, like, will the real OG Kush stand up? We're trying to have a new naming convention. These are cultivars, not necessarily names, but what's more important than the name, right, is the terpene profile. Can you explain a little bit to our listeners what you're looking for in a flower is a rich profile of cannabinoids and the terpenes? And can you talk a little bit about terpenes and what those are?
Yeah. Steph, do you want to take this one?
Sure.
All right.
So the terpenes that are usually, found in the cannabis plant are going to be kind of like the aroma that you're picking up from the flower that you're usually buying. They can go anywhere from like fruity to like super cheesy. And those all are going to play a huge role in the overall experience that you have with the plant. And so throughout my, 11 years in the industry, what we've noticed is that we kind of gotten away from like sativa and indica when we try to guide people into purchasing, because those are just really just the way that the plant grows. Whereas the terpene profile is going to be the actual effect that you get from the plant. So depending on if you're using, let's say, like a rest product versus maybe like a bliss product, you're going to get different terpene profiles that are going to speak to that experience. So with rest, you're probably looking at terpenes like linalool that are going to be a little bit more calming, a little bit more even like sedative, whereas something with limonene is going to be a more uplifting high and something that we would maybe deem more as like a daytime experience. The cool thing too is that all of our products have a COA, so a certificate of analysis. And on that analysis, it has a breakdown not only of the cannabinoids, but also the terpenes. So you can kind of start to learn your terpenes and then be able to see, okay, cool, this is what I'm going to get from this product versus trying this one.
That's fantastic. And like to ask both of you a little bit when it comes to, you want to follow your nose. That's the good rule of thumb, not the label of the name, right?
Yeah.
Experience. How does it hit you? You'll feel it. When you have, I like to think of the quality of like the difference between mass produced grapes and then small batch wine grapes, and the quality of the flower, it'll produce consistently high levels of CBD, but then because your products are full spectrum, so they include the support of other minor cannabinoids like CBG, CBC, beta carotene. So could either of you talk a little bit about the minor cannabinoids and what CBG or CBC, what the research is showing, or why people are looking for those cannabinoids? I know CBG has been coined the mother of all cannabinoids. Maybe we could start there. Who would like to take that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take it. So at Aspen Green, we offer full spectrum products, which means that we offer the whole full range of plant compounds that are found in the cannabis plant. So it has all the cannabinoids, the terpenes, the trace THC, all of these things kind of combined together to call and create what's known as the entourage effect. So basically, the entourage effect is just the concept that all of these aspects of the plant work together synergistically to really give you like a full spectrum benefits from the plant. And so sometimes you'll see products that are like CBD only, or things that are just offering like just CBG. And those things can definitely be helpful. But if you're wanting to think about how it's actually working, it's kind of like comparing it to taking a whole orchestra and then stripping it down to just like one instrument and then just having that thing playing. Where if you have the whole orchestra together, it's like creating a much more, a better experience, and like your body is able to like process it and do more with it. As for like some of the small cannabinoids that are found in full spectrum products, you have things like CBG. That's definitely a popular small cannabinoid that people look for. That one in particular has a lot of like anti-inflammatory properties. It supports things like focus, gut health. Studies have shown that it helps with eye health as well. You also have CBN, which is another one that's been, getting more popularity. That one's known to help with sleep. So it can help promote like rest and relaxation. And one thing that we love to offer, especially in our Bliss products, is CBDV and THCV. These are more like minor cannabinoids that are currently, like, a lot of more studies are getting done on these, but they are very closely related to like CBD and THC, but they have more benefits to like your neurological system. So studies have shown that they tend to be a little bit more uplifting, a bit more like stimulating, instead of a lot of people, find CBD and THC to be relaxing, help them wind down. This one tends to be more energetic. So those are a couple that we focus on, and I'd say some small cannabinoids that people are starting to focus a bit more on.
That's very, very interesting. And I like how you explained it. I'm going to borrow and use and credit you for the analogy of the symphony.
That was amazing.
I like, sometimes you want a violin solo, but I love the full effect.
True.
But yeah, so does Aspen Green offer broad spectrum as well as full spectrum? And what's the difference?
We do not offer broad spectrum at the moment. All of our products are considered full spectrum. And just
is that true of the pet line as well?
The Calm Chews are broad spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the pet line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. And broad spectrum, so just explain the difference between the two.
Broad spectrum is going to be, a singular cannabinoid kind of working on its own. So as Rebecca was saying, something that would maybe just be CBD, or something that's just CBN, which work well, but when they work synergistically together, something with full spectrum that has all of the cannabinoids, the terpenes, the flavonoids, that's really going to create that entourage effect that we're looking for, that we find in studies to be just a little bit more potent. And in my opinion, I'll usually pick something full spectrum versus something that's broad spectrum.
Would you say it's similar to like if you were to take vitamin C versus a multivitamin?
Exactly. I'd say it's comparable to taking a vitamin C supplement and then just eating, like, including fresh citrus fruits in your diet every single day. For me, that's kind of like the difference between like isolates.
Because in the orange, you're going to have the full spectrum. You're going to get all the other wonderful benefits in the fruit.
Exactly.
Not just the CBD extracted from it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. So going through your products, so tell us about your oils and your tinctures, a little bit about the flavors and the textures. I've read a lot of the reviews. A lot of people from our hive have said that they're really impressed by the flavor and the texture. I know some people who this is why I'm excited that your beverage is coming out, because some people just don't like tinctures under their tongue. But tell us a little bit about the flavors and the textures of your tinctures and of your gummies.
Rebecca, you want this one?
Yeah, sure. Well, between the tinctures and the gummies, it's two totally different things. The tinctures are definitely like stripped down. So it's just going to be the MCT oil, the organic hemp extract, and then potentially functional herbs, depending on which product you're purchasing. But I would say that the flavor profile of our CBD tinctures, number one, they're full spectrum with organic hemp extract. So if you're familiar with like the smell of cannabis. It definitely has like a very earthy, sometimes like pungent smell to it. It's just it's hard to describe, but it's very earthy. And we do have like a slight flavor profile to them. Like the relief oil will say cherry, but those flavor profiles to the oils are super mild, mostly just going to be like an earthy hemp flavor. As for the gummies, those are a totally different story. Each of our gummies has like a very strong, delicious flavor to it. We have cherry, lemon, wild berry, and tropical flavor too. So all of those are great flavor. Organic sugar to sweeten those, and they're delicious. So yeah, but it's a very, very stark contrast between the oil and the gummies.
Okay. And then I'll forward this towards Stephanie. When customers call in, how do you guide them if they're just starting from ground zero in terms of what consumption method or product might be best well suited for them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think me personally, what I'll usually start with is just if they're familiar at all with full spectrum products, and if they've played around with like even just taking CBD. If they have, I'll usually ask them like what, form of ingestion they tried, whether it's a gummy or it's an oil. And that will kind of help me better gauge maybe where their tolerance at, or just like how new they are to these types of products. If they're completely new, I'll usually direct them towards like our calm line. Our calm line with the functional herbs like ashwagandha and chamomile and, holy basil. They tend to have a really calming kind of relaxing effect. And then I love the CBD to THC like ratio between like the oil and even the gummies. The gummies are a little bit stronger with the 2.5 milligrams of THC. I find that if you're really new to it, sometimes even that could be a little bit too much for the nervous system. Whereas with the calm oil, even if you just do 1 full milliliter, you're getting, 1 milligram of THC to 25 milligrams of CBD, Rebecca? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just wonderful for them to really be able to gauge and then like build upon that 1 milligram to see, okay, where am I in this, experiment. And then I always tell them like, just make sure the first time that you do try them, be in the safety of your home, and then maybe just clear out your schedule so that you can be really open to what is happening in your body. And you can really take a mental note of it. Because as we touched on before, it's a very individualistic journey, and it really does require you to experiment and keep an open mind. Because I've, in the 11 years I've been doing this, there's been times where they haven't been guided to taking it in a safe way. So they've taken too much and then just been completely turned off by the entire industry. Whereas for us, it's like, let's ask all the questions that we possibly can. Let's have them also ask us all the questions they have. There is no silly question, because in return, we can empower them with the knowledge to at least be able to set them up the first time and doing it in a safe way. But usually those are the questions that I start off with asking. And calm is a great place to start.
Mm-hmm. Calm is a great place to start. And, so many people who are new to it will just ask me if I'm at a barbecue or a social event, well, what is CBD good for? What do people take it for? Why would you have it? And I think it's important for someone just starting out is to figure out what's the intention. What are you looking, right? What's your expectation? What are you looking for? Are you looking for calm? Are you looking for relief from everyday stressors? Do you have sore muscles? Not that we're making health claims here about any of it, but people are taking it for different reasons: rest, relief, calm. I was really curious about, I've talked to several people who take it for sex and intimacy. And do you guys want to tell us a little bit about what you know about that and what you have for that?
Yeah, so we offer the Rouse Intimacy products. We have the Rouse oil, and then we also have the Rouse cream. The cream is also an oil-based product. But yeah, we've designed these specific formulations to be extra strong. Since you're applying it topically in your intimate areas, it really helps to encourage blood flow and sensitivity. So It's great for that use for intimacy. It's also great for people who experience any sort of like discomfort, or even if you're just like wanting a little bit extra moisturizer. It's great to be, it has a lot of different uses. And not only for like sex and intimacy, these products can be used obviously anywhere else on the body too. But yeah, they've been physician formulated to be safe to use in your intimate moments too.
We've got a couple of episodes on cannabis, sativa, and sex. So, hey, it all starts with calm. So, and sleep is such a big problem and issue for so many people. And while we can't speak to the benefits of CBD, we can speak to the benefits of the other functional ingredients. So super impressive in your products. You mentioned ashwagandha and a couple of other things. So can you tell us about some of these supportive functional ingredients in certain of the products that you have and what they're good for?
Yeah, so since you mentioned the rest products, I'll go ahead and start there. So yeah, the rest products, the oil and the gummies, on top of the full spectrum cannabinoids that we have in there, we also have things like skullcap and lemon balm, valerian root, and chamomile.
Wow.
So yeah, if you're familiar with herbs, these are all classic herbs that have been used for hundreds, thousands of years to help promote sleep and relaxation. Valerian root traditionally has been used for sleep and also to help you fall asleep faster. I'm sure most people are familiar with chamomile. It's just a very relaxing nervine herb just to help promote relaxation. Skullcap, traditionally used for calming properties. It's also been believed to help with dreams and supporting the nervous system. And then lemon balm, another great herb that's used, across the world. It's in the mint family, but a lot of soothing effects to help alleviate stress with that.
Wow. Rebecca, what's your favorite product?
Mine definitely is the rest. I struggle with my sleep. And so for me, I take a rest gummy every single night, and I've definitely found it to be helpful. But yeah, I love our rest products. I also love our Rouse cream. The cream has like a nice cocoa like scent to it, which I love. So those are probably my two favorite ones.
Now, Rebecca, retail question, and I'm going to ask you what your favorite product is, but in terms of consumption methods, if you were going to take a gummy, for instance, for sleep, would you take it an hour before? Or again, it's trial and error. Everybody's different. It's individualized, and you have to kind of start low and slow and experiment and see. But what's the suggested use?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Definitely always start low and slow, because for some people, a little too much can actually be stimulating. Like it can cause feelings of anxiousness if you take too much. So definitely start with a small amount, figure out what feels great for you, because just the right amount is very relaxing and can make you just ready to go to sleep. As for the timing, I would say 30 minutes to an hour for gummies to take before bed. And then for oil, I would say the same. I'd say 30 minutes to an hour for both.
And now, Stephanie, do you have a favorite product?
I definitely love our rest product. I tend to use the relief one a lot. I love the functional herbs that are found in that one. We've got like the turmeric and black pepper, cumin seed, especially black pepper having like super high levels of beta caryophyllene. Like it's just super interesting mix for me. I tend to deal with a lot of injuries from like when I played soccer. So like a lot of, inflammation around like my knee joints and stuff. So I tend to really gravitate towards that one. I got my mom using it, my aunt using it, and I use both consumption methods. So I love our gummies and our oil, but I do use oils more than gummies because I do try to limit my sugar intake. And so the oils are really nice. And I think because metabolism does play such a huge role in the overall efficacy of like a gummy and an oil is not as bad let me say that again. The metabolism isn't as big of a role in the oils. I feel like it's a more consistent effect. So I'll usually take it 30 minutes to an hour before I want to feel the effects. And it usually hits me the same way every time.
That's what I do as a chronic back pain sufferer. I take an oil sublingually, and I have to admit, I've not tried your oil, but I am going to try it the minute we finish this interview. I didn't even realize there was the other supportive, the turmeric, the cayenne, the black pepper. I put that in my diet on the daily for,
Yeah, same.
for inflammation. And I'm not making a claim about CBD. The turmeric, the cayenne, the black pepper, but the studies we need, because at the end of the day, we're talking about ashwagandha, we're talking about lemon balm, we're talking about turmeric. Why can't we talk as freely about CBD or cannabis? Well, Brandon in part one of our series started mentioning on the history. It's the 1937 Marijuana Tax Act. We've had 8 decades of prohibition. And while there's a lot of anecdotal evidence, we need more studies. They're coming. We need more human studies. They're coming. But FDA, come on, evaluate it. I mean, we've got to stop prosecuting it and get this plant out of Schedule 1, but that's a whole other episode. You guys have been amazing. I know you have a new product coming down the line. I'll tell you, I'm so super excited about it because I've tried, when you have oil-based tinctures, they're okay if you put them in a tea, I find, but they don't mix with cold beverages. I've tried to find CBD drink mixes, and a lot of them have aspartame. I'm not going to touch it. So you've got a beverage coming. Just before we wrap on this Aspen Green product spotlight, we're going from C to self-care. You guys have been amazing. Each of you, give me a little bit about the new product coming, the beverage. It sounds very exciting, and the flavors are just off the hook here.
Yeah, we're all super excited for the drinks to come out. I'm very excited to try them. And yeah, I know, like, I agree with you on the sugar stuff. I know for me, I was personally pushing for like a super low sugar option on the drinks. But Brandon, our CEO, was, gave the pushback of like, no, I'm not doing fake sugars, like no fake sugars. It's not quality, so I kind of have to shift my mindset around that of like, no sugar or low sugar isn't always good, so I'm really excited just like see what they taste like, and then see what they feel like too, because for me, a THC drink will be a totally new experience. So yeah, I'm super excited to try it out.
Same. We haven't got to try the flavors yet, but the way that Brandon has obviously discussed it, they're going to be amazing. I think the Amalfi Spritz is the one that I'm most excited for, but yeah, I think I feel like sublingually tinctures are kind of my go-to. So I'm curious to see what a beverage is like versus a tincture and if there's a difference there. So super excited to try them out.
Well, you're backed by a physician who everything starts with the nutrition from his philosophy, which I agree with. I think the strongest medicine is what's at the end of your fork. And FDA, you allow a lot of things to be at the other end of the fork. We won't get into that, but okay. So the flower, it's a culinary herb, right? It's another herb. An herb is an herb. It is an herb, and it's the company you keep. And so we have this beautiful cannabis plant, and we have all those other herbs, and it's so exciting to see and learn more about the efficacy and to have healthy alternatives to prescription drugs or alcohol. And at the end of the day, right, not bad mouthing Western medicine, but for someone like me who's been a chronic back pain sufferer from a car accident that happened in 1987, you just need to find something that you could have on the daily that doesn't just mask symptoms and make you addicted, but actually kind of does something the way cayenne does and helps calm the inflammation. So,
and that doesn't have like bad effects too.
That's it. So thankful that Aspen Green exists, that we found you. We welcome you to the Hive. We're excited about the beverage, and we look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Oh, I look forward to having them back. In fact, we ran over on last week's episode, so I just said, hey, we're doing a part 2. I'm going to take the parts that we ran over and just cover the ground, and we will definitely have them back. There's so many things I like about this brand and their product line. Personally, I am deeply committed. I'm a believer in the power of the full plant. Whenever it's possible, I'd rather eat a fresh orange than take vitamin C. There's a time and a place. Sometimes you need vitamin C boost, but all of Aspen Green's human products are formulated as full spectrum, meaning, as their customer care team explained, they retain the full range of the cannabinoids, the terpenes, and the beneficial compounds found in the hemp. Now, this whole plant approach, it supports what's known as the entourage effect, which they spoke to as well, where all of the elements of the plant work together synergistically to support well-being. The one exception to the full spectrum formulation in Aspen Green's product line is their calming chews for dogs. Now, these are made with broad spectrum hemp extract. That means the formula still includes multiple cannabinoids and plant compounds, but it's been carefully processed to remove all detectable THC. It's a thoughtful choice for pet parents who want to offer their animals the benefits of hemp without the presence of THC, particularly for smaller pets or pets with sensitivities to THC. The bottom line, whether it's for you or your furry family member, it's important to be informed for your first experience, understanding the different spectrums. Reading your labels is key to choosing the right CBD product for you or your pet's needs. Just to reiterate, when you're watching the video version of this, we have a disclaimer that we are not making any health claims about CBD in particular or any of the cannabinoids or the cannabis plant. We are in compliance with the FDA's rule that, you cannot speak to treatments or diseases or cures. They haven't evaluated it yet. Side note, it's curious, when the 2018 Farm Bill passed, allowing the United States of America for hemp to be grown in the United States of America, it didn't speak to the cannabinoids from the hemp plant in products. It dragged its feet. And then a pharmaceutical company came out with a drug called Epidiolex. Epidiolex is an anti-seizure medication that has an active ingredient, CBD. Oddly enough, the FDA evaluated it as an ingredient in a prescription drug. And now that they did that first, because it's an active ingredient, CBD, in a prescription drug, we can't make any claims about it as an active ingredient in any other product until the FDA evaluates it. And they have remained silent. That's the 2018 Farm Bill. So we're talking for 7 years. So if you're confused, justifiably so. Information is hard to get. People trying to be compliant and within the legal lines have to be very careful. They're not able to make claims, even if they're backed by science. But you as a listener can look up studies, and they do exist. You could go to PubMed, just search cannabis, marijuana, put in different ailments, and you can find a lot about it. As a media company, Aspen Green is a well-meaning brand, can't make these claims. So we're not making any claims. I'm saying that on the air in the event you're listening and not watching the video with the disclaimer. So now we're going to move on to something more fun. Let's be honest. We're talking about from seed to self-care, but sometimes the biggest barrier to wellness is convenience. And that's why I'm excited about Aspen Green's newest product. Their new line of sparkling CBD beverages, I can't wait to taste it. I have to say, I have not tasted it, but I believe it's going to blend great taste. I'm excited about organic ingredients, and it's a smart formulation. Think strawberry margarita without the alcohol, peach Bellini without the sugar crash. In this next segment, Brandon Lewis is going to give Green Bee Life and our hive on Just Say No an exclusive, a first look into this, what's promising to be a refreshing, discreet, and just a delightfully drinkable form of CBD. And we've got a bonus spotlight for those looking for something a little more edgy. Aspen Green has also formulated a second line called BOLO, capital BOLO, BOLO. Stands for be on the lookout for a good time. It has functional ingredients, really fun flavors, a bit of THC, a dash of THCV. It's designed to energize and inspire while still being clean, tested, and made with intention. One important note, while it is clean and tested, it is their only product, the BOLO new line, that's not USDA organic, due to the impact those requirements would have on the drink's other functional ingredients. Brandon will explain all of this and the impact it would have on cost, being virtually prohibitive. But I want to share with you, and let's have Brandon can speak to this better than anybody. So here we go. On this episode's First Look Product Spotlight, Brandon has something very, very, very special to share and explain why it might deserve a place in your daily routine. So Brandon, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, we've been working on this for a while. My wife, Heather, has been needling me to make drinks for at least 18 to 20-ish months. And, you know, we had come out with our gummies and I'm like, we just have so much going on here. I don't know about getting in the drink space just yet. Well, finally we are here. We launch in about 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And with everything we do, I feel that we have the best in class experience, from packaging to let's deliver right on the inside of the packaging with the greatest quality products. At Aspen Green, we did a little redesign, more fun and whimsical with the drinks. So we made a strawberry margarita, a peach Bellini, a Concord transfusion, which any golfer knows a transfusion drink. And instead of an Italian spritz, we call it an Amalfi spritz. They're available in 5 milligrams per 12-ounce can. It's like a high noon can, that high, sleek, sexy, slender can, if you will. They come in 5 mgs and 10 mgs of hemp-derived THC. They're made.
And guys, if you want to see these, because the packaging is absolutely mouth-watering, pardon the pun there, you'll go over to GBL TV and you watch the video version of this. They're absolutely beautiful. But we're teasing you on the radio. But you're doing a great job, Brandon. Go ahead.
Well, I'll start with the peach Bellini. It's made with water, organic blue agave, organic peach fruit puree, organic whole blood orange puree, organic whole lemon puree, organic flavors. Obviously, it's got some citric acid, sodium chloride. That's salt for the record. L-theanine, organic ashwagandha, magnesium, L-threonate, and obviously the hemp-derived THC. Over with our strawberry margarita, similar ingredients, but we'll say strawberry puree, organic lime juice concentrate in there, organic strawberry juice concentrate, and then the rest is the same as I just mentioned. Over with the Amalfi spritz, we added the organic whole lemon puree, the organic whole blood orange puree, organic juice concentrate, and then over with the transfusion drink, the Concord transfusion, it's actually a Concord grape juice concentrate, organic monk fruit extract, and a natural black currant fruit puree. So if I said that right. So we offer these also in a variety pack. We'll be selling these online, and we will be at major retailers launching in Florida to start and in Tennessee. And then we will be in Colorado. I can't tell you just when, but the relationships that we have right now for the distribution in brick and mortar retail are hot and heavy in Florida and Tennessee. Now, I want to also share with your audience, you know, we are AG Beverages and Brands. Aspen Green is the flagship brand that we started with, predominantly a health and wellness brand, right? female, really 35 to 65 is our sweet spot. I've always had in mind a second line for guys, young guys in particular. So we have a new brand called Bolo, which stands for Be on the Lookout. Kind of fun and whimsical. And it's really be on the lookout for a great time. That's the message. Now this is loaded with B vitamins and ginseng and the L-carnitine and the L-threonate as well. It's got the magnesium in these as well. There are no artificial colors. There are no added colors in these drinks. No artificial preservatives, any of that. They are super uber clean. And the Bolo line is a little unique too, because it has THCV as in Victor in this line, which is more of a creativity, energy focused type of experience. And we offer this also in a 5 mg and a 10 mg. And when I say 5 mg, that means 2.5 mgs of THC, 2.5 mgs of THCV. The 10 mg, obviously 5 mgs THC and 5 mgs THCV. The flavors include Blue Raz Blast, Sour Apple Sonic, Mango Mojo, Waterberry Wave. Waterberry means watermelon and strawberry mixed. They're frankly scrumptious, these drinks. I mean, they're just uber clean. Aspen Green is the flagship line where everything is organic. The Bolo line doesn't have everything organic. Again, I'm big on transparency, but it is clean. It is tested. We just couldn't make the Bolo line with all these other aminos and ingredients. We couldn't make that with all the organic ingredients and have it be priced what we feel was competitive in the marketplace. And we call Bolo, another tagline for Bolo is boldly balanced for the perfect boost.
I love it. And we had an episode 3, the effects of cannabis and psychedelics on the brain, with a really wonderful scientist, Dr. Manesh Gurn. And he was talking about how people are turning to healthy beverages with functional ingredients instead of alcohol. Guys, thank you so much. And I look forward to having you back.
Hey, if the audience would, they can feel free to call directly at 1-888-578-5900. You can talk to Rebecca, Steph, Bonnie, or Adam. And the website's aspengreen.com. We also use drinkaspengreen.com coming out. And then bolodrinks.com is coming too. And by the way, you'll be talking to these gals right here when you're asking about Bolo as well. Well, why don't we just do Green Bee Live, right? Let's go Green Bee. You want Green Bee Life, Maria? We'll go Green Bee Life and get 20% off.
Whoa, Green Bee Life 20. You heard it here, guys. It'll be on the show page. Green Bee Life 20. I love it. Green Bee Life 20 for our Green Bee Life Hive. So circle back to greenbeelife.com and we'll keep you posted on the launch of this drink, which I'm excited about. I mean, I've given up on beverages quite some time ago, and just not having all that sugar has been great. And to have a refreshing drink, to be able to feel whatever I'm going to feel, I'm looking forward to experiencing it and not waking up with a hangover. I'm pumped. So it's time for our Just Say No Cannabis Glossary. Today's term, minor cannabinoids. So you've probably heard of THC and CBD. Those are the two most well-known cannabinoids. But did you know that there's over 100 others in the cannabis plant? These are called minor cannabinoids. And while they're less talked about, they can play roles in your self-care routine. So I'd like to break down 3 that we've mentioned here today. CBG, often called the mother of cannabinoid. CBG is the precursor form which other cannabinoids are formed. It's non-intoxicating and may, not making health claims, may help promote balance in mood and focus. CBDV, a close cousin to CBD. CBDV is another non-intoxicating compound being studied for its potential role in neurological balance. THCV, not to be confused with THC. THCV is known for more energizing, uplifting effects. It's also non-intoxicating in lower doses, and it is included in products like Aspen Green's Bliss line and their new Bolo drinks. Now, these compounds, they may enhance your experience through what's known as that entourage effect, where we combine multiple cannabinoids and terpenes and they work together to support your body's natural balance. Not making a health claim, but I would direct listeners to look up the endocannabinoid system or go to greenbeelife.com, check out our learning center. So the next time you see a label that mentions more than just CBD or THC, don't overlook it. Minor cannabinoids, it may be the secret ingredient in finding a formulation that will work best for you. I want to take a few minutes to talk about something I wish more people discussed. CBD red flags, because let's face it, not every product on the shelf or in your social media feed deserves your trust. The CBD market is flooded with options, and the consumer information gap, it's real. But here are a few red flags you should be aware of as smart consumers. 1, no certificate of analysis, COA. If the brand doesn't provide a COA from a third-party lab or buries the info, that's a huge red flag. The COA verifies what's actually in the product, the CBD content, the THC levels, potential contaminants, and it should be super easily accessible to find, just as easy as in finding a nutrition label. 2, wild health claims. Be super cautious of products claiming to cure anything, treat cancer, erase pain instantly. No brand should be making unsupported medical claims, and I'm just frustrated that they're not allowed to make supported health claims. A lack of transparency. If the company doesn't tell you where its hemp is grown, how it's extracted, or what's in the bottle, move on. No QR code or batch ID. This one's easy. Every batch should be traceable. Aspen Green is a great example. They print their QR codes on every package so you can instantly access lab reports. If there's no way to track the batch or verify its content, that's not good. Sketchy pricing. Extremely low prices are often too good to be true. Quality CBD extraction and testing, they aren't cheap. Compliance is not cheap for anyone trying to do it legally. So if a product is priced like a gas station energy drink, it's probably not what it claims to be. Bottom line, if it's not tested, labeled clearly, and sourced responsibly, don't put it in your body. Trust is earned. All right. Unfortunately, we're not going to have time for today's Q&A. We had some great questions, but I believe the Aspen Green customer care team really addressed the bulk of them. So from seed to self-care, I believe Aspen Green is walking the walk, and its path seems to be paved with intention. Whether it's the flower they grow or the herbs they choose, every ingredient has a purpose that it shows. So whether you're looking to rest, recharge, recover, or just find cleaner alternative to what's out there, I think this brand has something really good and real to offer. But here's the truth. Not all CBD is created equally. And brands like Aspen Green, they need our support, not just as customers, but as advocates, because the industry's still in limbo. There's no clear federal oversight and state laws. They're all over the place. In California alone, the landscape changes constantly. So what can you do? Ask questions. Where was the hemp grown? Demand COAs. Support advocacy groups like the Realm of Caring and the Hemp Roundtable. Let your elected officials know that you care about access to clean, safe, plant-based, well-regulated CBD. Safe plant-based wellness should not be a guessing game. If you're curious to try the products we covered today or to revisit episode 21 for more background, head over to greenbeelife.com, where you'll find trusted access, featured bundles, and exclusive content. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who's CBD curious. Like, follow, subscribe, and as always, support clean, intentional wellness. Hey, cannabis isn't about getting high. It's about getting well, being informed, and living fully. And here on Just Say No, where curiosity is queen, I'll always keep it real, relevant, and rooted in the truth. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a great week. See you next week, guys. Just Say No is a Green Bee Life presentation airing live weekly on Friday afternoons from 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific on KCA Radio and KCAA TV. Archived audio episodes are on Green Bee Life, greenbeelife.com, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and most third-party major platforms. For archived videos, check them out on GBL TV, on Green Bee Life, YouTube, and Rumble. To follow us, our Instagram and Facebook is at Just Say No Radio. To apply to be a guest on the show or for sponsorship and advertising opportunities, go to greenbee.com.